Just want to start the chat GPT.
Okay, all yours.
Okay, thank you for coming for our session today. So we have got many today, right? But we hopefully uh I think within 1 hour of the sessions, more people will be joining in. So as usual, right? We will do some sharing on latest technology and tips and tricks on ChatGPT and any other AI tool. So for today, I will start and my focus will be totally on ChatGPT, and then I will pass over to Greg and also Noel if there's any that there are any things that they want to share. So the first thing that I want to share, right? I just want to maybe go to basics and understand um, ChatGPT, right? So let me just share my screen. Yeah, let me just move this a bit. Okay. So if you guys been using ChatGPT, right? I believe since early last year, you can see one of the really well and always updated by the provider is by OpenAI that created the ChatGPT. So you can see always a new versions and models is being introduced by the OpenAI, the maker of ChatGPT, and we are actually able to even use it and even some of the things that we want to do, right? AI did help us, right, in creating contents, doing some comparison and those things. So these are the examples of interface of ChatGPT. So for us, we have the GPT 4.0, 4.0, right, sorry, GPT 4.0, the newest GPT model. So you have the older as well, GPT 4 and also GPT 3.5. So when you log in, right, you log in, this is the first page that you will actually been shown to you, and you have the option to actually change the model. And also in the left side, you can actually create a new chat. These are some of the history of ChatGPT that created by many communities, right? They have a certain purposes. For example, you have explore this GPT, right? So you have bunch of ready-made, curated pick of GPT models that they created on their own, which is catered to this particular subjects or certain spaces that you want to talk about. For example, here you have image generator, right? And then Canva and other things as a logo creator. And this one is purely by ChatGPT team. So what does the difference uh, compared to the original ChatGPT, right? So these they have tuned a certain aspect of elements that you want it to actually behave. For example, creative writing coach, right? So when you directly click this option of ChatGPT apps, so the conversation that you'll be having is only basically related to that particular apps that they created, right? So you have other things, you have writing, you have productivity, and you have research. You can use for research, and it will give you specifically the result as for you to write a research paper with all the citation, the formatting, right? So you have the Excel GPT, education, right? So these are apps that is available freely now, right? Since they introduced recently the GPT 4.0, right? They also mentioned that you can actually access all the GPT that was created by the community. So you can create your own in any particular maybe finance, or maybe some HR or other things that you have idea, you can actually create your own GPT, and you can set what are the requirements and specifications, right? Or you can just use any of it over here. You got a lot, right? You can just search here any of the things that you want to do. So these are the options for you to explore the GPT that created by other communities, right? And then you have the history over here, right? You have some history of interaction with the chat GPT. So let's go back, right? Let's go back. So here are the main interface. Then you have box just down the middle below here for you to key in your prompt. And after you key in your prompt, all the history will be at the left side. You can just go in. So for us, until like even when we started using this since last year, you see 2030, the last year, 2023. Yep, all the history are here. Right? So you can just go back and visit them, and then maybe start the conversation from there. So some of the settings that are available over here, right? You can actually go into the settings. Just want to show you the look and feel. You want to change. Maybe I want to change to dark mode. Then you can change the language for you to interact with the chat GPT, right? It's amazing that you can see all the languages that they support, right? And then you can actually from here, you can delete all the chat, the history, interaction with the chat GPT, and you can even personalize some of the things here. It's a bit technical over here. I will just skip. So you have voice. So later on, I will demo the latest editions of feature of ChatGPT 4.0. You can have a conversation with the AI. So you can actually delete your account, export your data, other things you can actually do, and even also connect your applications, right? You can actually connect to the OneDrive and then ask the ChatGPT to answer all the informations or files that you have in your cloud storage. Yeah, you can do that. So we actually did it. We tried to link and ask the copilot, the ChatGPT to give some response. So here are the security. So they have the MFA now, right? When they started introducing, they don't have it. Now they have the MFA, right? Then you have all the option to log out all the devices, right? So from here, you can just key in your prompt. So create me an images of KLCC building. Let's just try. The early versions of ChatGPT, they don't have the capability to generate the image, only text based. And then they improve it. You can see now, right? Really fast. They're able to generate really high definition images, right? And then you can actually change the model if you wish, and also regenerate if you feel that something wrong with the images, right? You can actually just go in and regenerate. So you can do a bunch of things. I believe for the few months past year, right, you can see a lot of people generating content using AI. You cannot even differentiate between the originals and the AI generated contents, right? So you can actually go in here and see the first generated images. You can see that there's a icon over here, right? And then you can actually copy the images and download the images, right? So you can do other things as well. So here, the icon over here, you can actually upload files and have a conversation with the files. Let's see if I have any files, right? I have too many files over here, right? So maybe I will just upload this Azure OpenAI workshop. Let's see. So what is this document about? So very quickly, right? You see, within like few seconds, it able to go in and read those information inside the documents and able to give you the response, right? Imagine if when the newer ChatGPT 5 will be introduced. So you can see all the information from the PDF documents being outlined over here. Things that was mentioned inside those documents, right? You can even ask the ChatGPT to create a new version. Can you create a new version of this document, right? Okay. You see, so now you're able to generate some contents for you, which is you probably have seen it before. But if you compare to the earlier version of ChatGPT, this is much more clean and able to understand you very well, right? What way the direction that you want to go. So when you always generate content using AI, right, you have some tips and tricks to understand are these contents is AI generated or is something that is created purely manually by the person, right? So I have one article over here, right? So this article I have shared before in the group, right? So words and phrases that make it obvious that you use ChatGPT, just published in May, right? By this lady over here. And so, what are the words and phrases that normally the ChatGPT will use, right? So here are some of the examples, right? So for example, accordingly, additionally, right? This is a top highlighted words that always ChatGPT use, right? So adjectives overused by ChatGPT, right? So this is probably how the AI detector, right, used by universities to detect any paper or presentations that student did, right? Is it purely by the work of the students or generated by AI? So these are the words and phrases. I will share this link. You can go in and have a look, right? So let's try and see if is it correct, right? So let's see if the writer that posts this article is correct on her perception that it uses the same word, right? So so you can see there are too many adverbs, right? So let's see if they are many over there. See, right? Maybe just identify ones and see. Yeah, I'm writing to highly recommend, right? And then consistently impress, right? And this is seems to be words that normally a normal write. If you write to someone, probably you don't. If your grammar is really good, maybe you have the time to actually think for these particular words. Uh, and in talent for creating memorable. You see the word the how it actually the phrases sounds possesses a talent for creating memorable experiences that exceed expectations and leave a lasting impression on attendees. So you probably will have some ideas that this text is generated by ChatGPT. So that's how most of the AI detector able to detect. For example, here I am confident that will be tremendous assets, right? So these are one of the example. So it's good that you will you use the AI, which I think you will need to, right? Even more important for the future of the jobs, right? Where I just presented this morning, I think together with Noel, the Copilot, right? Microsoft versions of AI, which uses the same back-end model from OpenAI, able to even filter the resume and recommends which of the candidates that you should be hiring, right? So you will be worrying that probably the jobs in 6 months down the road, when you apply, is already been filtered by AI before even you got into the interview. Probably maybe you you won't be going for her interview as well. So we don't know, right? So these are the changes that are happening. So the best way is to learn and to try, right? So one of the things that you should be trying as well is the Copilot, right? So the Copilot have a similar feature to ChatGPT, and is free, available in your phone. You just go to the Play Store and App Store, just search for Copilot and install the application. So you can generate images, you can, talk with the AI as well. So you can just use a microphone. You can even ask the Copilot to detect images that you have drawn and picture that you have captured, and ask the Copilot to explain, right? So for example, here, I just click one of the prompt that available, right? So it able to actually give you some of the destination that you should be considering, right? So if I go to designer, right, the option in the right side, I can actually generate some pictures, right? Let's try to generate similar pictures that I generated in ChatGPT just now. So let's go here and copy this prompt, and see if able to generate. Oh, okay. Let me just refresh this, I believe. Try. Sorry about that. So, yep. Okay. So you see the comparison between the ChatGPT and Copilot. So one of the reason is Microsoft implemented the responsible AI framework, right? So some of the prompt you need to be really descriptive. I mean, you have to be really detailed, right? For example here, yeah, down and fine. Let's try and see if this will work. Yep, it's generating. We give so we start to generate. See, right? So the image is much more nicer, I think, compared to this one. But this one have a different texture and own design. So when Copilot generated the images, so it gives you 4 choices that you prefer, and then you can actually go in and customize this image to the Microsoft Designer. So you have all the tools available for you for free. The Copilot able to generate images, text, and all those things, and then you can actually go into the designer and edit those images, right? For example, over here, I can actually edit some of the images and change the color, right? Add my style. It's already predefined. So it's easy. Just generate the image, and click one of the image that you prefer, and then just go to customize. So you will have your images, then you can actually edit them, right? So the next demo that I want to show, right? I just want to show the GPT 4o for my phone, right? So let me just stop this screen, and then I will share for my phone, right? Let me just, how do I share for my phone? The share button just now. Let me just try again. More option. I didn't see share button over here. Oh, share. Share. I share my screen. Start now. Yeah, that's good. So you guys can see my screen, right? So I want to have some conversation with AI. Let's see if it works, right? Because there's two microphone over here. So let's try. So I open my chat GPT. I hope it is not too small. Right? So it's similar interface. So when you open your chat GPT your apps from your mobile phone, you have all the ChatGPT apps that you can use over in the left side, all the history, right? For example, the KSCC building that I just generated. You can see over here, let me just scroll up. Yep, so long. Yeah, it's loading. Yeah, so this is the images I already generated. So you can actually access all the information from your phone. So now let's do a new chat. Let's try the new features, right? You probably have seen this in YouTube video. So the features that I'm talking about is just beside this, icon over here. I think you can, a bit, it's too small. Just there's a microphone icon, right? You see there's a text box messages here, and then there's an icon here, headphones icon. So let me just click. Hello. Hi. Can you guys listen to the conversations that the ChatGPT reply?
No, this
Oh
one.
no.
No,
That's
can't hear the other side, can only hear.
okay. Let me just try and then let me maybe just bring the mic a little bit closer.
Yeah, we
Okay,
can
let me
kind of
just
hear it, but yeah, it's very soft.
okay. Because I share including the sounds, so it should be able to actually go in. But it's okay. So let me just turn on the volume. Okay. So hello, how are you? Did you guys hear anything?
No.
Don't think so.
No,
No.
no.
Okay, that's bad. I should have
Now
recorded.
there is something just now.
Is it? Yeah, I don't know why Teams did not share the sound. Let me just try again and see. Stop sharing. Then want to share with the audio, right? Share screen with the audio. Hello, hi, how are you? No, I don't think you guys can hear it, but it's okay. So let me just play some YouTube video showing the capability of the ChatGPT 4.0, right? So let me just uh stop the sharing. I don't think it will work. I think next time I will just record. That will be much more better. So let me just share the video over here. Okay, let me just share my screen.
Supporting your writing journey from start to
I
finish.
think you guys can actually.
Welcome to Ideation Station.
How do I write the
Yeah,
perfect
that's
intro
great.
paragraph?
You start with understanding
Okay.
what makes a perfect intro. Grammarly can highlight
Hmm.
precise tips for an introductory paragraph.
Why I my screen hang? Okay.
Invited myself and my son Imran here to try out some of their new technology. And so we're curious about how good it might be at tutoring someone in math on Khan Academy. So let's get it started. It's loading up. All right, make sure it can see our screen.
Actually, in this format,
Hello there.
I can't.
I'm here with my son, and I'd love you to tutor him on this math problem, but don't give him the answer. You can ask questions and nudge him in the right direction, but I really want to make sure he understands it himself. And he's here in the room, so you can talk to him directly.
Of course, I'd be happy to help. Let's look at the problem together. Can you first identify which sides of the triangle are the opposite, adjacent, and hypotenuse relative to angle alpha?
All right, so I'm pretty sure this is the angle alpha right here, right?
Perfect. That's correct. Now, looking at the triangle, which side do you think is the hypotenuse?
Remember,
Remember the hypotenuse?
I'm not totally sure. I think it might be this one, but I really am not sure. This side AC.
You're close. Actually, side AC is called the adjacent side to the angle alpha. The hypotenuse is the longest side of a right triangle and is directly opposite the right angle. Can you find which one is the hypotenuse?
Oh, okay, I see. So I think the hypotenuse is this really long side from A to B. Would that be correct?
Exactly. Well done. Now that you've identified the hypotenuse, can you identify which side is the opposite side to angle alpha?
Okay, well, I mean, you told me earlier that this was the adjacent side, and I know that's the hypotenuse, so I'm guessing that this side, BC, is the opposite side.
Great deduction. That's absolutely correct. Now that you've identified all the sides relative to angle alpha, do you remember the formula for finding the sine of an angle in a right triangle?
Yeah, I know that the sine is equal to the opposite over the hypotenuse.
Perfect. That's absolutely right. Now, can you apply that formula to find sine alpha in the triangle using the lengths of the sides that we've identified?
Okay, so, I mean, you told me that 7, this side BC, is the opposite side. And then you said that the hypotenuse is the longest side, so that would be this side AB, which is 25. So would the answer be 7 over 25?
Excellent work. That's correct. Sine alpha equals 7 over 25. You did a great job identifying the sides and using the sine formula. If you have any more questions, feel free to ask.
So that is the latest. Oh, sorry. Yes. So the video that I've just shown, right, is the latest technology, right, from ChatGPT. The model is GPT-4o that I've just demo, right? So similarly, I was trying from my phone. I was having some fun with the GPT-4o from my phone. Maybe I will record some of it. Maybe in the next session, I will try to show, but it is not as fluent from the video that they have shown, right? Probably they are trying to improve it, but still you can have conversations, and sometimes based on my experience, it changes to Malay. I'm not sure why. And suddenly when I'm talking, right, it actually changes to Indonesia and talking to me in Indonesia, right? And I also don't understand. So, so these are the technology latest that available for you to use. I think that's all from me today. I will invite maybe Greg to share some of the info, the latest that you able to come up with. Greg, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Thanks, Juan.
Okay, over to
Okay,
you.
thank you. Right. Hello, everyone. I'm Greg. I'm a newest addition to this team. I've been here more as a viewer rather than a contributor. And today, I'd like to show a little bit something related to cooking. So let me share my screen a little bit. Mhm. Okay, I hope they're showing up right. Okay.
Yes, we can see.
Okay, thank you, Juan. Okay, so I'm not sure if this is a problem that today's audience, the audience that we have today has, but back in my university days, I had to cook almost every day in my dorm to save costs because university was expensive. And the thing is, with ingredients, I had to use them unevenly, right? They don't sell these ingredients in really nice bundles. Maybe some days you have leftover eggs, some days you have leftover onions, and things go expired, right? And the big problem is how do we cook with what we have inside our pantry, right? So today I would like to share a little bit of a tip with Copilot. So just the normal Copilot, no fancy plugins, no whatever. And we're gonna have Copilot help us figure out a recipe with the rest of the ingredients that we have today. And so what I'm gonna do is list out everything that I have in my fridge, everything in my cupboard, everything in my pantry. And for this exercise, I'm actually going to take some example ingredients from the audience. So, if you guys figure out anything, please do type it in the chat. But here, let me start it off with, I have the following, and maybe I have like 3 onions, I've got rice, I've got cooking oil. Okay. Anybody has anything? Hmm. Tomatoes. Okay, that is a good example. Tomatoes. Um, let's see. Maybe like chicken thighs. Soy sauce. Soy sauce is good. Maybe you have Worcestershire sauce. Okay. Let's come up with a few more. Maybe yeah, spaghetti. Spaghetti is good. Spring onions, maybe. And one more, let's have canned sardines. And I want you to give me a recipe based off these ingredients. So let it generate response for a little bit. And yeah, so the first thing they gave us soy sauce chicken, and it's nice that they gave us a specific list of ingredients. So how many cans, how many cuts. And the nice thing I like about this recipe over here, let me scroll from top to bottom a little bit. You can see a nice preview picture of what we might get. So soy sauce chicken, we have soy sauce chicken, very thorough recipe. And second, we have basil chicken and tomato rice. So one thing I do like about this is that you can see that they have these sources in the bottom. So it indicates to you that Copilot didn't generate these recipes out of nowhere. So they are actually improving on existing recipes, right? So it's taking already done recipes and maybe add 1 or 2 ingredients from your list. And so over here, remember we added, we have rice and tomatoes, we have chicken, we have onion. And of course, these online recipes usually have things that you didn't have. Like for example, over here, it recommended red pepper slices, it recommended fresh garlic. So, maybe you have to buy or maybe substitute it with something else, or, just leave it out altogether. And if I paste this prompt in ChatGPT, I like to compare the two. Yeah, over here, let me open a new chat. And so I'm going to ask it the same things. I have these ingredients, 3 onions, the exact same thing I pasted into Copilot. and I want ChatGPT to give me a recipe. And let's see how this goes. So it gives us this chicken and tomato rice with spring onions. Also a similar format with the ingredients you need and the instructions. Of course, I think this isn't as precise as what Copilot gave us. Copilot gave us like how many minutes you have to put it in, like 4 to 6 minutes, and then put in soy sauce 2 minutes. But it seems that ChatGPT didn't have that much. There's 20 to 25 minutes here. But if you see, the biggest difference is that back in Copilot, there are sources, and in ChatGPT, they didn't give us sources. So it sort of implies that ChatGPT is making up this recipe from zero, right? And of course, for me, I might be a little bit suspicious. I'm not sure how this tastes. It doesn't build off of a existing recipe. It might taste funny, right? So to be safe, I think the Copilot response is a little bit better. So, if you are stumped on what to cook, you can try out this function. Tell me how it goes. Of course, as Ridwan said, you can also try this out on the phone version of Copilot. It's free and it's simple. And so, yeah, I hope that this has been a useful tutorial. Back to you, Ridwan. Thank you.
Thank you, Greg. Noel, do you have anything to share tonight, Noel?
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, thanks.
Please.
Just let me share my screen, yeah. Thank you. That was interesting, Greg. And definitely your sharing just now, Ridwan, was very enlightening. I think I know how we can fix that sound problem. We probably need a little bit of time. Okay, so let me just share the screen. So this is my background, by the way. Nice scenery. I believe that's real. Okay. But I'm going to take you through a little bit of a quiz, right, to see what's real and what's not real. Okay. But thank you so much, everyone, for coming to this session. Right. Share my screen, yeah. All right. So, which is real? Which is AI? One or two?
Both is AI.
Both is AI.
Both is AI. Okay, no, there's one is real. So try again. Which one is real? Which one is AI?
First one is real, I think.
First one is real. Okay. 1% says one is real. How about the rest? Don't be shy. It's okay
Yeah,
to
I
get
think
it
the left
wrong.
one is real.
The left one is real. Okay, so two people going for one. So anyone else? There's still a few people who's not given an answer. Come on, don't be shy.
One is Noel, number one.
Number one is real. Okay, three goes for one. Anyone else? How about Ian? Kenny? Which one is real and which one is AI? Lorraine, what do you think? All right, since the rest are two, oh, Lorraine says one is real too. Okay, very good. Wow, you guys are getting better and better. So the answer is one is real. Fantastic. So I think with all this testing and playing with it and so forth, how about this one? Oh, one or two? Which one is real?
Number two is real.
Two is real. Okay. Who else says two is real? Ah, Kenny says two is real. Okay.
One is real. Gary
One
here.
is real. Okay, thank you, Gary. So one for one, two for two. Anyone else? One is real. Okay, so it's 2 for 1, 2 for 2. Anyone else? Last call. Okay, the answer is 2. Not bad. There's an even split, 50-50. Okay. Last one for now. So this picture looks familiar, Greg?
This is Mount Fuji, right?
Yes. So 1 or 2, which is real? Getting harder, huh?
Number 1 is real.
Number 1 is real, okay. So 1 for 1. Anyone else?
One is real.
1 is real, okay. So 2 for 1. Anyone else? One is real. Okay, 3 for 1. How about the rest? Last call. Anyone? Okay. Well done. Indeed, you guys are getting much, much better. Okay, now these are pictures, right? So now the point here is, why do AI get things wrong? There must be a reason, right? Why AI sometimes get it wrong? What do you think? Anyone care to share the hypothesis or what you read? Obviously, sometimes, like any technology, things can go wrong, right? Just like a bug, right? We get into that situation from time to time. But obviously for Microsoft, they take AI very seriously. So they take a lot of effort, right, to try and get it right. So this article by Vanessa Ho, right, from Microsoft, actually addresses and talks about that. So earlier, Ridwan talked about something called responsible AI. So responsible AI plays a role, if you want, in that area. But first and foremost, let's get a deeper understanding of what they mean by hallucination. All right. Essentially, if you want ungrounded or wrong information, right? A model change the data has been given, right? Or add additional information that is not contained in it. It's essentially, it's like adding salt and pepper, if you want. But sometimes, based on the information that is using the model, right? The data models is using, the large language model is created data that did not have a foundation, if you want. So that's why they call it ungrounded content. It did not stand on any specific data, right? Fictitious data, if you want. And of course, the other flip side to it is added additional information to it. It's a little bit like, sometimes when someone pressures you to tell the truth, but then you don't know the answer to the truth, so you make up an answer just to make it appear like the truth, right? If you want, that's a form of hallucination. Of course, another understanding of hallucination is where people have some kind of drug, if you want, or they are drunk, right, from something, and then they start hallucinating. They start seeing things that are not real, right? That's obviously another part of it. Let me show you a little bit of what the article talks about, okay? So if, if you are interested, you can always get into this article, right? It comes from Microsoft. So why AI sometimes get it wrong? The big strides to address it. So how does Microsoft tries to address it, right? Microsoft wants to ensure that every AI system is something you trust and can use effectively, right? And this particular person, Sarah, comes from the team for responsible AI, right? So you can read more about responsible AI, but this is something that we talk about from time to time, right? In our sharing for Copilot for Microsoft 365, right? If you look at what responsible AI is, all right, you can look at the transparency report, right? It talks about how Microsoft use different parts of AI and how Microsoft privacy commits to apply to AI and even how Microsoft protects AI against cyber threats and so forth. So I feel that often than not, when you go through these articles here, you get a much deeper perspective and understanding of the importance of AI being protected. And that's where Microsoft's emphasis and priority on responsible AI is, right? Whether it's from a policy perspective, from research, from engineering, and so forth and so forth, right? It still, at the end of the day, has a potential of hallucination. Okay, so don't for 1 minute think that despite the fact that Microsoft puts in all these commitments and efforts and so forth, right, it doesn't hallucinate, but it still can. In fact, just recently in our ChatGPT group, someone was complaining that when it came to investments and certain calculations and so forth, right, the Copilot wasn't giving the right numbers and so on. We saw this as one of those key areas that we believe that Microsoft is working hard to address. But we always believe also that you should have these two AIs, at least ChatGPT and Copilot, right? Like this morning when Ridwan and I were sharing in the Microsoft Office, right? I talked about using ChatGPT and Copilot, having both of them on the phone, right? And if one didn't give you an answer as good as what you expected, you tried on the other one. Okay, so that's the key thing in terms of how you use it. But the other thing also is today, I'm not sure whether you showed Ridwan. I know you showed that before. When you go into Copilot, you notice that Copilot actually gives you three different, what's that? Where's that option where I get to choose the three different themes?
While you are logging from your personal account, is it?
I think so. Yes, I am. I should be. Yeah, I've got all my history. That's the personal account version. Yeah, strange. Yeah? Where did it go? The different themes.
Yeah, I think they updated the latest version. They don't have it. Let me just try with my another account and see. Is that
Yes, please. Because normally you get three different options to choose from. You get the creative, you get the balance, you get the precise. All right, because each one of these different themes, if you want, will give you different level of accuracy. The creative one will obviously tend to be a little bit out of this world, so it can take you further from the accuracy into more potentially hallucinative or creative kind of text, versus if you go to precise, all right, from that perspective, because with the creative is using GPT-4 Turbo, right? With balance and precise is using GPT-4. So from that perspective, you can actually get different outcomes, and it's important to use the right outcome. But strangely, I don't have the three different themes here. You know what? I'm going to log in with another login and see what happens. Let's see. Wrong password. Sorry. By the way, it also uses 2FA, so I have to use my Microsoft Authenticator to go in. All right, so I'm just using my work email ID to go in. Right, almost there. Okay. Hooray! It is there. Okay, so this one is using my work. All right, you notice the commercial data protection. So if you use your work, like your Entra ID, it will use this option. There you go. Creative, balanced, precise. Okay, so if you want it to be more accurate, obviously you use more precise. It will use GPT-4. So hallucination hopefully will be a lot less compared to the creative option. I thought we used to have that option even in the
Yeah.
normal Microsoft ID, isn't it? But strange, it's kind of disappeared.
Yes, I noticed that probably they just move it only to paid user.
Possibly. Yeah, strange. Yeah, it's gone, at least for now. Okay. Right. So that's the bit on hallucination and so forth. Any questions on that? Okay. So hallucination. So why? All right. So this author, Vanessa, tried to put a perspective to it. It says LLMs, large language models, tend to hallucinate more around facts that are less available in the internet in terms of the training data that they use. So they actually curate data from the internet, obviously, as part of the training, right? Making the attention study an important step in understanding the mechanism and impact of ungrounded data. So Microsoft tries to use different avenues using responsible AI and so forth to try to hopefully reduce the situation of hallucination. Okay, so that's the key thing to the technology that Microsoft is putting forward. So last, what is real or which is real or AI? Anyone? One or two? Come on, everyone try. This is the last one. It's not that hard. Who says one? Put up your hand. Greg says one. Okay. Ridwan says one. Paisley says one. Okay. Lorraine says two. Who else says one? Anyone? How about Kenny? Gary?
Two.
Two. Okay, so we have 2 for 2, and so far, I think 3 for 1. How about Kenny? I think he must be busy. Stepped away. So the answer is 1 is real. Now, by the way, I also made the same mistake. Okay, I also thought it was 2 that is real, but not so. So really, if you think about it, AI has come to a juncture where it's increasingly almost impossible to tell what is real and what is not. All right, and many a time you actually don't get two things to compare. All right, if you want from that perspective, so it's very difficult, right, to be able to tell what is real and what is not. So don't jump to conclusion when you see an article that looks real. Go check it out. That's the premise of how scams often catches us out, because someone shares something and we think that is real. Go check it out. Okay, I've covered how to determine scams and all that in the past. If any of you want to know, you can always go back to our recording, right? Lorraine, do we have some of these recordings uploaded yet?
Soon will be uploaded, including this one.
Okay, very good. So soon you'll be able to get a recording of all the AI is fun sessions, and we already have the Copilot TTT uploaded, right? The previous sessions.
Yes.
Can you
All
share the
the-
link? Can you share the
Sure.
link, please? Yeah, share it in this chat window.
Sure.
Right, so that those who are present can go and watch all the Copilot TTTs we have done. And of
Sure.
course, this session is among many that we are planning. All right, so this is the first of this couple of months for July and August. So we'll come back in a fortnight for AI is fun. And then, of course, 2 more sessions in August. And that's it. Tomorrow night, we have the co-pilot TTT, right? That's the 10th. And of course, a fortnight from then, we also have another co-pilot session, and then 2 weeks of that in August. Okay, so this is how we try to provide regular updates and sharing, all right? And if any of you have anything to share, because you have spent a bit of time sharing and you feel compelled to want to share with others, do reach out. You can reach out to me or reach out to anyone in the group, all right? We'll be more than happy to give you an opportunity, a pedestal for you to share. Okay, any questions? We've run over time already.
Nope, not from
No?
me.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining us, and hopefully you enjoyed the session as much as we did. All right, so signing off. Thank you.
Thank you very
Take
much.
care.
Thank you.
Welcome. Good night, everyone.
Good
Thank
night.
you. Bye-bye.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye bye.